Hello Stamper, welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm Frances Martin, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up at FrenchieStamps.com. I'm located in the United States. Today it's I'm gonna play with the die. It's all around wreath, and this die here work with two stamp sets, seasonal wreaths and also tidying all around. So I think this is the first time they release a die and two stamp sets at the same time. So I think that is lovely. So the die that I die cut, it's this part. And I'm going to have lots of different technique or tips or whatever you want to call it in this video. So we're using the Mercury window sheet, the glass sheet, the Mercury. And if you see, I emboss it with the embossing paste. Well, I feel that the white, it's not enough for me. So what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do, well, first let's do the reed, because that would have to dry. So I'm bringing my inky sheets here, and we're going to use just a little clear block. And I use Mossy Meadow, and this really you would have to do it in advance for the next technique we're going to do. It's going to, I think it's going to be wicked cool. And then Granny Apple, and I think Mossy Meadow would do, but the other one I use Pure Pizzazz, so I'm going to use Pure Pizzazz too. So I did those three color of green. And then I'm using my aqua painter. It's still dirty from the other one. And I'm going to wet this. I cut the reed out of watercolor paper. This is out of watercolor paper. And then I cut another one that we're going to layer in a little bit. And that it's cut with heavy Whisper White. I like to start with the Mossy Meadow. That's the darkest one. And see, I'm just padding around. I don't follow any pattern. Maybe a little bit darker on the edge, and I just add my colors. Then I'm going to go with the Pure Pizzazz, and you see Pure Pizzazz and Mossy Meadow, when I just watercolor wash like this, it's not a big difference. I bet you get a hard time to see because my paper, it's dirty, but it's going to get dirty right away. So I just add my color like this, and I use quite a bit of ink because I want it very pronounced, my reed. If you don't use as much ink, as it dries, it's going to get lighter, so keep that in mind. So after I did my two Pure Pizzazz and Mossy Meadow, see how wicked it is? I think that's so cool. I use a bit of Granny Apple Green, and this is very more vivid color. So I just add at bits and pieces, just to show like the light hitting the reed. That's really was my attention, to show where the light would hit the reed. You know, if you get the daylight, whatever. Okay. So see, and as it dry, it's going to dry lighter. I absolutely love this one. I'm going to move that. This I'm just going to take a rag, wash it, rinse this to underwater to make sure everything is out. So we're going to move that aside. Now, the next step, and the way that I cut my paper, because the Mercury glass come in, it is, let me think here, 12 by 12. So if you cut it in strip of 4, you would have 3 strip of 4, and then cut at 5.5. This way you can get 6 cards out of one sheet, because I want the whole card front this. So if I would go at 4.25, then I can only have 2 strips. So this measure 4 by 5.5. The same with my copper. It's coming 12 by 12, so this is more economic if you cut it at 4 by 5.5. And I'm going to layer that in the back here. See? So this one, instead of just using white paste, and again I need a scrappy paper, Now we're going to use a lot of scrappy paper because it's messy a little bit. And I'm going to test it with, and we're going to bring my mat here, my silicone mat. And we're going to use some Cajun craze, so to have more like a rustic brick. So I'm going to put, you don't need that much, so that should be enough. And I'm going to use my Cajun craze re-inker, and we're going to add about 3 drops. And maybe 2 would be plenty. I want a deep color. And even if it's not mixed all good, you get some marble in it, that is perfectly fine because it's just going to add some character to the brick. So now we get our paste done. It looks a little bit like frosting here, or a little, don't know. Now you're going to take your mat. This is the brick, the mass. And if you see, it's hard to see right where it finished, so just pull it as straight as you can there. I just put my finger there, and then I just going to smear that like I would smear some frosting. And I'm not worried about to have it equally. I want it someplace no brick and place with brick. I forgot to bring a bucket of water. I use a little container usually with water when I do this live, because this dries super fast. So the minute you're done, you would want to go and wash this out. And I get plenty of, and you see someplace I put thicker, et voila. So now let me go put this in the side here. Not to go in the sink, but I'm gonna wash it quick. So now this would have to dry. So this one gonna be finished, and it's gonna be on my blog. So just come, the link right below, and I'm gonna have both cards. See, I absolutely love with this color. So I was brave enough to try it live, and boom. Now I need another piece of scrappy paper. That's a lot of scrappy paper here. And this time I want to crank it up a notch, my wreath. So what I decide to do, I got a little clear block here, and I use, oops, not this, my Versamark. I got it someplace. My Versamark, and I had a few drops of re-ink of Versamark. What I done with that, I try it on this sheet here before going live. See? I want some splatter of copper. So I got a kebab here, whatever works for you. It's don't have to be a kebab, but with a paintbrush, and then what I'm going to do, it's flicker this. And flicker. And it's hard to tell if it go or not. And I thought, is that going or not? But it was going. Now I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to use just the poke of, so you can use toothpick or kebab like I'm doing. And I'm just tapping this. And one thing I want to say, you want to make sure that your wreath is completely dry. If not, you're going to have a mess. So we can always come back for a second if that's not enough. So what I'm going to do is take my copper embossing powder, put it all on there, and then let's shake this up. Voila. Okay, let's emboss this. And I should have brought a foil that I do have. And what I'm going to do is just use a piece of tweezer here and all that here, because it's so little. And then we're going to emboss this. So now we're going to have the little flicker of copper, and that's what I was going for, just to have a little bit of character in our wreath. And I think I'm going to nail it. And you can see some dots. I don't know how much you can see on the camera. Some dots are very little. That's where we flicker. And some dots are bigger. Et voila. I would add more, but due to, I want to keep this video shorter. The next one I will add more so you can come and see, but I think you can see all the nice little dots. Someplace it's very little. Is that cool? Oh, my dirty inky finger. Now, like I said, I got another piece of wreath here that I cut with Heavy Whisper cardstock. I wanted that to be more strong, and we're going to match that. First, we're going to see where it goes. Okay, it goes this way. So I'm going to use, let me bring another silicone mat here. We're going to use our Tombow glue. And oof, that was ready to come out. I'm just going to add glue here and there. And we're going to mount both of the wreath together. So this way it's going to give it more solid when we're going to mount that on our card, because I didn't want a flimsy one. Now we're going to take this, put it at the top. Even if you see a little bit of white shadow, to be honest, a little bit I think going to give even more character, and it's going to be nicer. So I'm just going to try to just a little bit of to mount that with just a little bit of a shadow here. So it's going to look even more depth. See? Boom. Now, it's time to adhere that together. Now I get some inky fingers. Let me wipe that off quick here. Not just inky finger, but glue fingers and so on. Okay. To attach, because I have to do this one, because the other one it's not dry, but it will be on my blog. We're going to attach the copper first to our Whisper White. And the Whisper White, it's thick 1. And it's cut at 4 by 11, score at 5.5. Like I said, I just remove a 1/4 inch from the width there, so that way it's I should have Tombow for this. Here we go. So this way it's you can have 6 out of a sheet. My ends was dirty, so I'm just using my baby wipe there. I'm looking for my inky rag and I cannot find it. I want to dry this here. Okay, to attach the glass, the Mercury glass, the one that I find easiest me, it's glue dots. And I'm going to put in the 4 corner, and I don't pull, I twist. I press it, I go where the silver is, because if you pull, it's going to pull the silver. Twist. And then again here. Twist. Do you see my oops, I get one on my finger there. My motion, I put it down and twist. Now I get one here. Well, that one is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use, where would be my, here we go. I'm going to use a few more. So, and I just go where the silver is, so that way it will not show through my card. So that it's easy. If you take your poker here and you put it in the back where the silver is, it will not show through the card. Now we're going to take this, going to put this straight. Oh, not what I wanted. Let's go from the top here. That's going to be easier. Et voila. See, now we get with the white brick. Now we're going to take our wreath, and I'm going to put that with little dimensional. So I'm going to add a few little dimensional in the back of this. You could always add, you know, more to your wreath. You can add flowers. It don't have to be Christmas, even if it's in Christmas. You can add flowers, you can add gem, and so on, whatever you would like. For me, I put Celebrate You. It's in this stamp set here. And the seasonal wreath, I put Celebrate Your Day. You get happy everything, grateful for kindness, and this one Christmas. So you can put any greeting. I don't want this really to be Christmas. It's still going to look a little bit of Christmas, but I think that it's going to be all good. Oh, yeah, I thought it was the one that I didn't put my copper. Okay, this is going to be better here. Much easier. Here we go. Now we're going to take this and I'm going to mount that right here. It doesn't matter which way. I'm going to put that right here. Now I emboss my greeting with Whisper White. White embossing. I stamp it with Versamark and emboss it with white embossing powder. And I thought maybe to put that here. Let's see. So I will do, we're going to flag this here. So let me cut a little bit shorter. Flagging, I just try to cut right in the center and cut a V at each end. Some people like to use like the corner punch. I just find it very easy for myself to cut in the center and go with the V. Now I want to curl this a little bit. I'm not using a bone folder like regular cardstock. I just use my finger because that would scratch my embossing there. Oh, perfect. So I'm going to curl that one a bit more. Do I want it there? You know what? I want to keep the look of the wreath more, so I'm going to put it at the bottom. I got the trim, the copper trim. I'm going to just fold a little piece in two, do a little loop around and under, and that's going to give us a double bow. Pull and pull. Now we're going to use our scissors, cut this, spread those little bow here. This one can be pulled a bit. So then we get a double bow. Well, this one it's stuck one inside the other here. Here we go. I pull on the thread there. Let me fix this here. Here we go. Okay, voila. Now I can still work it, but that's okay. You get the jig of it. Now I'm going to put that right here. I don't want it at the top. I don't want it at, oh, awesome. Oh, this I'm going to use glue dots. I don't want to erase that more, so I'm going to use glue dots. A glue dot there and a glue dot here. And we're going to put that right here. Et voila, my friend, how pretty that is. So, like I said, on my blog, we're going to have the other one. And let me just share, like, it's not dry, so I have to be careful. See? Completely different look. So, this is it. Again, for all the supplies, measurement, just click below in the direct link to my blog or above in the eye, and all in the US are welcome to come shop 24/7, and I would so appreciate your business. Thank you so much and have a lovely day. Bye-bye for now.